Do we really know each other as well as we think we do?
Let's unpack the magic.
Welcome to another episode of the Team Unicorn podcast. I am Tyler.
And I'm Sammy.
And this week we are going to play the Newlywed game. And I'm very excited about this and see
Me
what
too.
if we can, have that. We have the ESP with one another. Hopefully, we do.
Yeah, hopefully.
But before we do, we want to get into just a brief little collaboration that we had with fellow podcast friends of ours over at the Fan Club podcast.
Yes, we had the privilege of being on their podcast. They are the Fan Club podcast, hosted by Sarah and Matthew, and they are a husband and wife team, and they are polar opposites experiencing each other's fandoms for the very first time. And Sarah has never seen the MCU movies, and so that's what they are currently watching right now. So they're going one by one, watching them all in release order, and then discussing them. So we were on for the Civil War episode and got to talk to them all about Civil War.
Yes, very fitting. Yeah. It's one of our favorite movies.
It is, yeah.
If you go back and listen to the ranking the MCU episode that we did, Civil War ranked up in the superior S tier of films for us. So it's definitely one of the highest films that we had ranked. But you should definitely go check out Matthew and Sarah's podcast to see what they think about the movie.
Yes, we will have information for them, where to find the episode that we were on. We'll have that linked on Instagram and our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and speaking of YouTube, if anyone is listening solely on like Spotify or Apple, or if they're just listening via an audio podcast, we highly encourage you to come on over to YouTube. We do have our YouTube channel at the Team Unicorn podcast. You can find us there. We have a fun little desk that we set up every single episode.
Change it up
all the time. And we hide little fun Easter eggs on the desk, and it's a really fun kind of door into our fandoms and what we do here at Team Unicorn. So we definitely encourage everyone to come on over and give us a like and follow us and watch us on YouTube as well.
Yes, that would be wonderful if you could do that.
So like we said at the beginning of the episode, we are going to be playing the Newlywed game. And for a brief synopsis on what the Newlywed game is that we're going to be given a prompt. We've come up with a handful of them.
Yep.
And we're going to try guessing what we think the other person is going to answer, or what they think that we're going to answer.
Yes, we have to answer for ourselves, but then we also are going to answer for what we think the other person has said.
Yes.
Or decided.
And once we figure it out, how this game actually worked, because I thought it was the whole you raise the shoe and I think that's just called the shoe game.
Yeah,
I thought that's what we were playing. So I'm just like, I've got big clogs, there's not going to be enough room on the screen and in the desk for me to do that.
Yeah, so I had to explain to you the actual Newlywed game.
And then once you told me, I'm just like, yep, 100% on board for this. No shoes are required.
No.
So, we're just going to get right on into it. Does it sound like a plan?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, let's get ready for this.
Okay.
I had to think of everything ahead of time because I didn't want to try to figure out what my answers were in real time.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be writing down our answers on whiteboards, so we can't see them from one another. Each other can't see them, and then we'll reveal what our answers are.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You want to start asking the first question?
Yeah. So our first question is: you're in Animal Kingdom. What snack are you getting?
And I think I'm just gonna break my answers down to Sammy would say and Tyler would say. So that way I know whose answers.
Yeah, I am gonna put mine always on the top, and then I think yours on the bottom.
It's a little rude, but whatever. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm still writing. Jeez Louise. I have a sneaking suspicion that we might have the same answer here.
I think we might. This was probably one of the easier ones to answer.
Easily.
Yeah.
All right, count of three.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Mr. Kamal's fries.
Yeah, Mr. Kamal's
100%.
fries for both.
They're the best fries. And then you get all that the nice like the spicy curry ketchup or whatever it is.
Yeah, the sauces and stuff.
Yeah.
Super yummy.
Super yummy. All right. So we're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing good.
I think we started off with an easy one.
Yes.
All right. Question number 2 is that you need a new sidekick. Who are you picking?
Okay.
For the purposes of this, it was just Disney sidekicks.
Yeah, it was just Disney.
And I have a feeling this is where the game is going to derail because I don't think that we're going to come up with way different answers.
Yeah. There were some that kind of came easy, but then this one I struggled a little bit with for you. Just because I don't think this is one we've really talked about a whole lot.
No.
So, all right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hey! So I said that Sammy would say Gus Gus, and you put Jack and Gus Gus.
Yeah.
So I think that's a half a point.
Yeah, I would think so.
And then I said Pua.
Oh, that was one of the ones I was going between. But yeah, so I said Pegasus.
Which is a great choice
for you.
To be honest, like I feel bad that I didn't even think about that because, like, in hindsight, it's obviously Pegasus. Like, he's just the best sidekick. All right, so question number 3.
Yep.
Are we on? What do we got?
So you get to be an extra on any MCU film. What movie is it?
See, this one was so hard for me, and I think I thought of it like too meta-y because I was like trying to figure out like what film would I like be in least danger.
Yeah.
But then I like reread the question. I'm like, oh, it's like you're just playing an extra, like you're an actor in this situation, like you're not actually like. But then I thought about my answer and I'm like, no, like this makes sense. Like I still have a very good reason why it would be this.
So when you told me that, it kind of changed my answer for you. So
oh really?
It did.
Well, maybe we have the right answer.
I will see. I'm curious.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I said that Sammy would say, or no, Tyler would say Ant-Man, and then Sammy would say Guardians.
Oh, I almost had Guardians.
Oh, so Sammy picked she would say Endgame.
Yes, so I said Endgame just because you get all the characters. Because I guess that was my thing is like, well, if I'm gonna be on set, I want to like meet all of these people or like potentially.
That makes total sense.
So that's why I went with Endgame, and that's why I thought you would say Endgame as well. So I did have Endgame for you, but then when you were like, oh well, what movie am I going to be in the least amount of danger? I was like, oh well, maybe that's not Endgame then. So then I thought about Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was like, you would totally geek out if you got to meet all 3 Spider-Men.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked that for you.
And so I picked Guardians for you because I thought, I know my answers are backwards if you're looking at it on my thing, but I said you would pick Guardians just because you love the Guardians movie and like just getting to hang out with Groot and you know the rest of the Guardians. So I thought that's what you would say.
Yeah. And
then I thought about it. I'm like, what set would I have a lot of fun on?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, being on set with Michael Pena, Paul Rudd, and Anthony Mackie just sounds like an absolute blast.
Yeah, and that was the other one that I was kind of thinking of when you said like the least amount of danger. I'm like, well, Ant-Man's pretty safe, but then I was like, well, I don't know. So
that's what I picked, but I now that I think about it, like just getting to be in the room with like all 3 Spider-Man would be awesome. All right, what question are we on now?
We are on.
Oh, and then question 4.
Yeah.
So you get to change lives with one Disney princess. Which Disney princess are you picking?
Ooh. This is another one. I almost want the same answer for both of us.
And see, I don't have that many ones that like I feel like we would pick the same answer. And this was definitely one I did not think that we were going to. But then after I'll explain my answer because I don't want you to feel offended by my answer.
Oh, okay. All right. Ready?
Yes. I said that I would pick Moana.
Oh, I have you picking Moana.
There we go. And then I said that you would pick Tiana. But not like the frog version of Tiana, like after she becomes a princess and like gets to open up her restaurant, and, you know, that Tiana.
Okay. She's like my number 2. But
it was close because you picked Rapunzel.
Yeah.
And those two were really close to me. I wasn't sure which one you were gonna go with. So and that's why I'm just like, well, I don't want her to feel like I think that she would want to be a frog. But I mean,
yeah,
especially after our Dig a Little Deeper episode and we got to watch the movie again, I'm just like, I just love that movie so much. And I know that really brought back a lot of like good memories of that. So I'm like, well, maybe she picked Tiana.
she was in my mind, but I think Punzi would just be so much fun to switch places with. Yeah, so that's the one I went with.
All right.
Okay, so next question is, what color lightsaber would you pick?
Ooh, we're switching up the fandoms here.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun fact, if you guys have never done it, we have actually built lightsabers down in Disney World on Batuu, and it is an experience that you definitely need to do.
That is amazing. And you can, so if you're building them, you can bring a guest, so you don't each have to make one and spend the $220 now.
Yeah, it's up. I think it was just $199 when we did it. It's up to $220 now. It could be even more. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yellow Shoes and Bob Chapek are just it gets expensive out there.
Yeah. So if you just build one and then you can bring a guest with. So if you're like a couple or anything like that.
Yeah, and we went with we did that our first trip down there. Right after it was like the opening like season of Batuu. And that was such a cool experience. I have it hanging on a nice mantle up on my wall over by my desk, and maybe we'll get to experience that corner of the basement with all those collectibles in another episode.
Yeah, hopefully. And I know we've talked about doing another lightsaber. Just because the experience is really cool, but it's also a very expensive experience.
It is.
We'll see. But
anyways,
so what color are we picking?
I said Sammy would say yellow, and then I would say purple. And that's what you put too.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That purple is the lightsaber that I did choose to make. And then we made sure to buy a yellow kyber crystal when we were down there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the last
I think it was the second trip we went down
there.
Yeah,
the second trip. So we wanted to make sure to get Ray's color, the yellow lightsaber.
And one of my favorite things to do, especially in Hollywood studios, is like to go into Hollywood studios at nights with your lightsaber and take pictures by the Millennium Falcon, or like even finding like little small like crevices and like corners in like the streets of Batuu, and like finding like just really cool places to take pictures.
Yeah, we got some really awesome pictures. Well, and you purposely brought the lightsaber back down for when we went last November. So that was your carry-on for the trip. And yeah, I mean, we only went to Hollywood Studios we brought it in once.
We brought it in the day that we got there. We were in Hollywood Studios twice.
Yeah.
But because I initially thought about wanting to make another lightsaber, but I was like, I can bring mine for free and just buy another kyber crystal if I need to, or I can spend $220 and you know, obviously it made more sense just to bring my own. So that was really nice. And yeah, like you mentioned, TSA, that is allowed as your carry-on.
It is, yeah. And there's a place at the front of the park. I forget what it's called. It's the little gas.
Isn't it Oswald's gas station?
Oswald's. They will hold it there for $10.
So that was really nice.
Yes, we got in and we just paid the $10 to have them hold it until it got dark out, and then we went back and got it and got our pictures taken.
Some of the coolest pictures.
Yeah, those were really awesome, and I'm glad we got to.
And if you have PhotoPass, there are PhotoPass photographers out there.
So. So they'll gladly take pictures of you with the lightsaber.
Yeah, so let's stick with some Star Wars fandom questions here
Yes.
for our next one. What Star Wars planets would you like to visit?
I just went with what came to mind first, really. So I don't know.
I have an answer that there's a very specific reason why I think that you would pick this planet, but I don't think it's the one that you picked.
Oh, okay.
But I think once you think of it,
Yeah,
you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
that makes sense. Okay, well then I'm assuming it's probably not the one that I picked. Okay, ready?
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. I said Sammy would say Endor, and Tyler would say Naboo.
Oh, I said Naboo, and I said that Tyler would say Tatooine.
I don't like sand. It's coarse. Yeah, I don't have to say the whole thing. I thought about Tatooine, just because I do love Tatooine. But I mean, it's Naboo.
Yeah.
Like Padme's there.
Yeah.
And I said that you would say Endor because I feel like you could get some really awesome s'mores on Endor. Like the
Yeah.
Ewoks, there's fires going all over the place on there. Like they would definitely know how to like roast a good
They
mallow.
would, yeah.
So,
All
well. All right, let's pivot off of Star Wars here for a minute and let's head back to do some Disney questions.
Yeah. Okay, so our next question is, what Pixar character would you like to go on an adventure with?
This one seemed pretty straightforward, and then I thought about it, and I'm just like, I don't know if we're gonna agree on this one.
I have no idea. I had some that initially came to mind, and then I'm like, I don't know if that'd be the funnest adventure. So yeah, I'm not really sure.
My mindset going into this question was, which Pixar character has one of like the coolest adventures in like their movie, and I'll just tag along.
Okay, I guess that's
so
a good way
that's
to look at it.
kind of how I was looking at this question.
Okay, all right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said Jay on there.
Oh no, I said Joy, and I said that Tyler would say Russell.
Oh, and I said that you would pick Carl and Russell.
Oh,
and then I would say going on the trip with Miguel.
Oh, okay. I had Miguel, but I changed my mind. Yeah, I don't know, and I think Joy would just like, she's just so fun.
Mm-hmm. Like I would have so much fun like going through like DCA with Joy.
Yes.
Like that would be like fantastic. Like she would probably be the only character that would actually get me like excited to go on Goofy Sky School.
Yeah, probably. Because that's pretty much a one and done.
That is, I'm never going back on that ride. That is nightmare inducing. Ugh.
It makes me giggle every time we talk about it.
I literally like snapped my back in like 5 places on that ride.
Yeah.
Like I need to be like, I should have been handed like chiropractor like coupons leaving the park that day.
Yeah, it really whips you around, and then like for me, it just felt like you're just gonna like fall off. Like you're literally just, I don't know, like there's no like side rails or anything on that. Like it just,
yeah, it's a whole bag of nopes for me.
All right, next question.
Yeah. Oh, where are we?
Right here.
All right. So there are no lines for any character meet and greets in the parks. What character are you going to?
This one is kind of hard.
I knew exactly what my answer was, like right away. But then I'm just like, I have no idea what your answer would be.
Okay, I'm picking the same for both of us on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said that you would go with Doug.
Oh.
Because we had such a fun time with Doug. And then I said that I would go with
the
Chipmunkasauruses.
I almost put with the dino costume on
We'll give you the point on that one. We're not even keeping points, but we'll give you the point for that one.
I've been keeping points.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes, that was it's one of my all-time favorite meet and greets is seeing Chip and Dale in Animal Kingdom in Dino Land when they're dressed up in their Chipmunkasaurus costumes.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the most memorable meet and greets. Although Doug and Russell, they were really good too.
Yep, and then like I kept thinking about like Merida. The first time we met Merida in Magic Kingdom, she was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
But I mean, Chipmunkasauruses, like we love them so much that we had to get the little plushies, which you can see on the desk in front of me if you're watching the YouTube. All right, let's see here. Where is our next question here?
All right, so, if you could only watch one MCU movie for the rest of your life, which movie are you watching?
Dude, this one was so freaking difficult.
It was. I changed my answer. I don't even know how many times. So this is what I'm going with right now.
And I'm pulling an audible. I have something written on in my notes, but for you that I think that you would like the movie that you would pick. But I am definitely switching that answer.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I have no idea.
Shooter McGavin. I did it wrong.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, it's just so hard because there's a few of my tops, like I don't know, like my top like 5 or 6 movies, and it's really hard to just think of one. Like you can only watch one of them.
Yeah, when someone says like they can only watch one, like I'm just like, and they come up with an answer real quick, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
like
I don't know. It's not just boom like that easy for me because I think like there's an obvious one, but for me it's not. Like I'm not picking that one.
I was torn between two, and I'll probably get it wrong, so I'll let you know what the other one was when we flip here.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. So I said Sammy would say Guardians, and then I would say Infinity War.
Yeah, and I had you picking Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said Thor Ragnarok, just because it's a movie I always have a good time watching, and I genuinely can't find any faults in the film. So I think it's just going to be one of those things that just I'll always love it. But yeah, Guardians is definitely in there for me. And then pretty much like all the Captain America. Like I almost went Captain America, the First Avenger, just because I love Cap and Peggy so much. And you get them in there, and yeah, I don't know. It was hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick just one.
And with we obviously with just being on the fan club podcast with Sarah and Matthew in reviewing Civil War lately. Remember, like it was about maybe 20 minutes into the film we were watching it, and I turned to you and I was like, is this my favorite movie?
Yeah.
Like I forgot like how much I absolutely enjoy and love that movie.
Yeah.
Because for a while, and it still ranks up there. I think The Winter Soldier has always been like one of my go-to Marvel films. But when it comes to like cohesive story and the amount of characters that you get, and like I don't want to like spoil anything because I really hope that Sarah and Matthew are listening right now, and I don't want to spoil anything for her. But like I absolutely just I can't find any faults in Infinity War. Like for that movie, like that is like my like if any movie in the MCU was going to get a 100 out of 100, like that would be one that I would put up for consideration.
Yeah, see, and I think that's where I don't know if I stray from the norm on that, but I don't hold like Infinity War and Endgame, I think, as highly as like a lot of other Marvel fans maybe do. Definitely between the two, I like Infinity War more. But I don't know. And it's been a minute since I've watched it, so I don't know. Maybe I have to go back and rewatch it and get all the feels again. But yeah, I don't know. I went with Thor Ragnarok.
It's a good choice. It's a solid choice.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next?
We're switching back over into some parks questions here. If you had unlimited lightning lanes, and for the longest time when I was trying to come up with this, I kept thinking fast passes.
Yeah.
If you had unlimited lightning lanes for any park, which park would you choose? And I wrote park here, but I don't know. Did you write down a ride or a park?
I wrote down a park.
Okay.
Because that's what it said.
Yeah, I know. I'm not too good at reading stuffs. So I can change my answer here real quick.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna say otherwise I can try to.
No.
Okay.
You just go. You do you, boo boo. We'll do this.
Okay, we got this. See, and this is another one. I almost went the same Z's for both of us, but
Oh shoot! I am going the same Z's for both of us.
Oh, are you?
I'm gonna get this one wrong then. At least one of them.
Okay, well I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
All right.
Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, this is what?
Okay, so I said Hollywood Studios.
the park you don't like I should say you like the least.
Yeah, because the lines get so freaking long and I don't want to wait in anything. So I feel like if I had unlimited lightning lanes, I'd be more inclined to go to it.
Okay, that makes
I guess that was
sense.
my reasoning. And then I said I thought you would say Magic Kingdom just because there's so many rides there.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
makes sense.
So what did you say?
Well, I said Animal Kingdom for both of them. That you would say that and I would say that. When I was not obviously comprehending the question well and had specific rides for this, my ride was Big Thunder Mountain. I would have picked Big Thunder Mountain.
Okay.
And I said that you would have picked a dinosaur.
Oh.
So that's why I'm like, well, she's probably going to pick Animal Kingdom because it's like one of her favorite parks.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I think in terms of rides, it's probably up there with your favorite park. It has Dinosaur, which you absolutely love. Everest usually doesn't get that long of a wait, but like that way you wouldn't have to wait for the safari in a long line. You wouldn't have to wait for Flight of Passage in a long line. You could go on to, Everest or Dinosaur whenever you wanted to. There's no wait to go in to see. It's a tough to be a bug.
Oh gosh.
So my answers were varied based on the fact that I didn't read the question well.
No, you're good. Yeah, I don't know. And like I almost went Magic Kingdom for myself. But then I felt like Hollywood Studios would be a better use of.
You're thinking more practical.
Yeah, I guess.
And now thinking like I would definitely probably would pick Magic Kingdom just because it's the park that has the most amount of rides and I want to get the most bang for my hypothetical free free lightning lanes or in the lightning lanes.
Yeah. All right. On to our next question. We are adopting a new pet.
Yay.
What Disney animal are you adopting?
Out of all the questions, this was probably like the one that I was just like, I have the best answer for it, and I don't know if you're gonna get it.
See, I have two that I was torn between. I don't know. Maybe I'll go with my other one because I'm not really sure. Okay.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Right.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so I said Pua.
Awesome choice.
Yeah, and then I thought you would say Blazy.
Because she's just like our Lacey.
Yeah. Otherwise, my other one for you was Socks.
Oh. That's such a fun movie. So I said that you would say Pascal.
See, and I almost picked Pascal for my sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that like those two questions were like kind of close together. So like it was either one of the two. So that's why I put it with this question. And then I would say Kevin's babies from
Oh my gosh. I never would have thought of that.
Like as soon so we obviously wrote all these questions ourselves and like as we're going through them and I don't remember, it was you or me that came up with this one and was like, yeah, Kevin's babies. Like I want them just going around throwing up like golf balls all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Or tennis balls all the time.
Can you imagine our Lacey girl?
Well, I don't know how many Kevin's babies we would have around our Lacey, but
oh my gosh, that'd be funny. To see them interact.
All right. We're gonna head back with a Marvel question here.
Yes.
An MCU hero is coming to you to be their quote guy or girl in the chair. Who do you want that hero to be?
This one I didn't have too much trouble coming up with for either of us.
I have two. I had two characters that I was split between for you, who I think that you would pick.
Yeah, see, and I tried to think of characters that didn't already have like a guy in the chair or like a kind of sidekick already.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I should have went with it. So I said that Sammy would say Miss Marvel.
See, and I didn't because she has Bruno.
And it was between Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, which you put Captain Marvel.
I did, yeah.
And I, to the surprise of nobody, picked Captain America.
Yeah, see, I almost went Miss Marvel. I almost had her, but then I'm like, well, she already has Bruno, and not that Captain Marvel would need my help by any means.
You're just like her, like flirking babysitter,
right?
Just keep an eye on the computer, make sure nothing's going on over in like that galaxy, and just keep an eye on Goose.
I can do that. All right.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Okay, next question is we're going on a double date with a Disney couple. Who are we asking? This one is fun.
Yeah. I said that Sammy would say this person. Also, where would we take them on this double date?
I don't know.
I think it'd be really fun to like take them to Epcot and like eat around the world.
I was just gonna say, like, what if we just took them to Disney World?
They'd probably be saying like, Disney. I gotta keep my work in.
Right.
All right, ready to flip?
Yep, ready to flip. Okay.
Okay, so I said that Sammy would say Flynn Rider and Punzi.
Oh, I almost said them.
And then I would say Anna and Kristoff.
Yep, and I said Carl and Ellie, and then I said that Tyler would say Anna and Kristoff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna put Flynn and Punzi for. I was actually gonna put them for both of us, but then I identify a lot with Kristoff, and I think he's such a awesome underrated character. So I'm like, that would be really, really fun. And Anna is just so goofy and clumsy, and that would be such a fun double date.
Yeah, I think that would be too. So I originally had Punzi and in Flynn, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, I think we like kind of identify so much like with Carl and Ellie. And so I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of fun, especially like in their younger years, like to be able to like go on a double date with them. I think that would be really fun. So
yeah, it almost like it would be like going to like if like Dapper Days.
Oh yeah,
like that would be like a really cool thing to do. Like take them to the park, but like take them to like Dapper Days where everyone's dressed up in like that really vintage
that
era
would be
clothing.
So fun.
That'd be awesome.
Just in general to go to Dapper Days, like yeah, that would be.
Yeah, we haven't got to experience that at all.
No, so hopefully one day. I think that would be super fun to be able to go to.
Mm-hmm. All right, so our next question, speaking of kind of along the same line of Dapper Days, we are Disney bounding as a character for the day. What character are you dressed as?
This one was actually kind of hard for me, and I I feel like I came up with a weird character, maybe.
That bodes really well for the very not weird character that I had written down for you.
I'm sorry. So I've talked about doing this character for Halloween though. So
is it Bing Bong? I should have almost be guessing these.
It's not Bing Bong.
Oh, okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, the fairy godmother.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I said the fairy godmother, and then I said Tyler would say Flynn Rider.
I went with very specific park answers.
Oh.
And so I would say that Sammy would say Minnie Mouse because you kind of have Disney bounded as Minnie Mouse in the past.
Yes.
And then I would say Figment.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it'd be very simple to pull off like a pink shirt with a purple button down and maybe some orange horns.
Yeah.
It'd be very, very simple to do. And I just go ride a Journey into Imagination like 10 times in a row.
That's fun. Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, I guess we've done maybe a very small amount in Disney bounding. Because I know you did kind of like a Beauty and the Beast look.
Yeah. For our November trip, it wasn't so much a Disney bound, but it was kind of like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess it was a bound.
Yeah, like very. Yeah, I think it was like the aesthetics of.
Yeah, I had like a nice Lumiere shirt, and
then you had the nice blue button.
it was, yeah, was it a blue button up with some red shorts? So I kind of had like the France colors going on, and I thought I looked pretty snazzy, and I got some really nice pictures in the new expanded France pavilion back by Remy. So those are some of my favorite pictures from our November trip. Just because I feel like I looked really good. I like felt very confident, and it was a nice little let's call it a Disney bound.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about planning Disney trips is the outfit planning.
And we start like real early.
We've already been talking, and we've been talking, I think, for a little while now. We're going in November, and yeah, we're already coming up with outfit ideas. And
well, we've been getting like shirts or clothing from like our favorites stores online. So like I have a lot of Lost Bros clothes.
Yeah, and I think I have
sporting one right now.
Yeah.
Lex and Cody, come sponsor us.
I'm sporting my Pixie Lee & Co. Keys for Unlocking Our Magic sweatshirt. She's one of my favorites. And yeah, so I think that's just one of the things that I look forward to most is picking out outfits, and I just love how some of them just come together. Like I know we're kind of talking about Christmas outfits, and I think I'm kind of piecing it together, and I have the perfect pair of ears upstairs, just kind of ready to go, which I really like. So.
Yeah. So and we've because we announced that we are going to the first. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party this year. We'll be there for the opening night.
First one, and it's the first one since COVID.
Yes. So we've got some outfit planning for that, and I've got some fun looks that I have for maybe some Encanto or Rapunzel themed clothing, and I got some Guardians outfits that I'm planning. So it'd be very fun to do this outfit planning, and I feel like I get really, really excited for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's something that we both look forward to. So
and we take our entire guest bedroom and just take all of our clothes just get dropped on there, and we're like mixing and matching and putting all of our outfits on the bed, and it stays there for like weeks on end because like we need to have the perfect idea of what we're wearing, and it changes.
It's a whole process.
it's a very big process.
So but I'm glad that we're both into it, and I'm like I'm not having to like plan your outfits because you're not like into that, so I'm really glad that you're like into it just as much as
or I'd be like the guy that's just like, I brought a flannel. What if you get too hot? I'll take the flannel off. I'm just like the last minute I'll pack 3 things and that's it. Like I can't do that.
Or like the really corny like Disney World shirts.
The matching Disney shirts.
Yeah, like the matching ones, or like the one I don't get this one. Like my favorite Disney villain is my wife. Like I hate it when I see those in the park.
I cringe. Or like the one where like the kids are walking around with like happy shirts, and then like or mom might be wearing happy, and then the dad is wearing like a shirt that says broke with Mickey ears on the O, or like the wife in the situation's like, I wanted the D, and like the husband's like, I gave her the D, and I'm just like, barf.
They're so cringy.
God, just cringe. Gosh. Like just there are so many awesome small shops out there. Like obviously like we just said like which ones we like, but like just do go out there on Instagram, find these small shops, find like really awesome curated like unique Disney shirts, and stop wearing like the garbage shirts that you can find on Etsy. Like
you all know a Disney fan in your life. Just ask them where they get their shirts. They will list off plenty of small shops for you to go peruse.
And knowing them, they probably have all the discount codes from all the influencers that they see wearing these shirts. Like we'll give them to you. Just stop wearing those stupid like I gave her the D shirts.
Most expensive day
ever. Whatever.
All right.
On a lighter note, after that little side rant,
On to the next question.
let's head to a galaxy far, far away for this next
All
question.
right. You get to share blue milk with any Star Wars character. Who are you asking? This one for you, I really didn't know.
Really?
Yeah. Which I feel kind of bad.
Yours was pretty simple, I feel.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Also, are you team blue milk or team green milk?
Oh, blue milk all the way. I had green milk for the first time
In November.
And it's gross.
It's trash.
Yeah, not good.
Sorry if anyone is offended by me saying that, but it is not good. Also, if you go to Oga's, which I highly suggest you do,
yes,
they do serve the blue milk in there just as is, but they serve it with this cute little Wampa cookie on the top.
Yes,
and it is like, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was the first drink that I had when we went to Oga's, and yeah, it was perfect because I got to try the blue milk, and plus it came with that yummy cookie, and it was perfect for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I really enjoy the blue milk. I genuinely think it's a good drink. Like,
yeah, and plus it's nice. It's plant based, and it's still like, it still feels like a nice, cool, creamy drink. So
yeah, but it's dairy free, so
yes.
my tummy likes it.
All right. So who are you sharing this blue milk with?
Okay, so I said Jar Jar.
I said that you would say Jar Jar.
Okay, so I said that you would say Obi-Wan. I was torn. I almost said Princess Leia.
So I did pick Princess Leia, and Leia, and I did have Obi-Wan initially, but then I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna get too boring, because I don't know if he's just gonna be like, try to be like too like diplomatic and try to be just too like chill about the conversation. But then I'd be like, Obi-Wan, say hello there, and I would probably just make him upset or something, and he would just do a Jedi mind trick on me and leave the conversation. So Princess Leia, because she's Princess Leia.
Princess Leia, yeah. And me personally, like, I love Jar Jar. I know he gets a lot of hate, which I don't get it. Like, I don't get all the hate for Jar Jar. I love him.
I know. I think we need to discuss this in a future episode, because I don't think the amount of hate that Jar Jar gets is warranted.
No.
And I am a Jar Jar stan 100%.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next question.
Well, these are the last couple questions here, and they're really good questions.
They are very good questions.
All right. You're on a road trip to see Powerline. Who's going with you on that road trip? We got one character. You can pick one character. It's got to be a Disney character.
Yep.
Who's going with you?
It took me a while to come up with my answer. Just because it's a long car ride. And I don't want to get like annoyed or too overwhelmed by who's in the passenger seat.
I thought the same thing too, but then I'm like, no, like, I want to be like that annoyed with the person, because I'm gonna have such a fun time with them.
Oh gosh, I don't think I picked the right person.
You probably didn't.
I probably didn't.
This is a little bit of a deeper cut for, I think, what you are probably thinking of.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay. So I said that Sammy would say Barley from Onward.
Oh.
Just because he's got Guinevere. We have a really fun.
That would be really fun. I didn't even think of him.
And then I would say Croc.
Oh my god.
From Emperor's New Groove.
That would be a trip.
Like, we would just stop and talk to all the squirrels, and we have so much fun. And be like, he'd have his spinach puffs. He could make us food on the way.
Gosh.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. So I said Mirabelle.
Which would be fun.
I think
that would
be
super
totally fun, and we could sing songs in the car together and everything. I thought I picked Hercules because I'm like, I don't know, he seems like a good road trip kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You can sing "Go the Distance" together. So
just a 24-hour ride. What's probably, I don't know how far is it from Green Bay to Los Angeles? It's got to be at least 24 hours.
Yeah,
I remember like going on road trips, not so much road trips, but like trips out to Colorado to go hunting out there when I was younger, and like those trips are really, really long. So
yeah,
but it's Kronk.
That sounds like a fun time. All right, next one is which Disney character do you remind me of?
This was super hard for me. This was one of the last questions we came up with, and like in theory, like it sounds like a really, really good question, but then like having to like come up with answers.
I don't know. For me, it seemed pretty straightforward. So
I couldn't. I have no idea what what Disney character I remind you of.
Oh, really?
Like I had such a hard time with this. Like I just threw one out there.
Oh.
I know it's not right, but I honestly could not think of one.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see what your answer is.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I said for me,
of course.
Punzi, and then you remind me of Kristoff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're my Kristoff.
So I said that Sammy would say that. How do you say this? That Woody from Toy Story. I remind Woody reminds her of me.
Yeah.
This is so backwards. And then I would say that you remind me of Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
I remind you of Belle? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you remind me of Belle.
Okay. Yeah, I had Punzi quite a bit in my answers.
And I initially did too, but then I'm just kind of like, is that too much? Or is it like
I didn't think so
adequate?
Because I'm just like, well, if it's the right answer, then no.
But yes, you do remind me. Or Rapunzel. When I see Rapunzel, I am reminded of you. I can't wrap my brain around this question.
No, you're good. I didn't even really think of Belle because I know we've kind of talked about that before.
And I know for like the longest time, Belle was your favorite princess.
Yeah.
And like I just remember like when we first were dating and first got married, like you just always reminded me of Belle. So I'm just like, that's the one I'm gonna go with.
That's a good choice. All right. I think we're on our last
question.
Okay. If you could be a cast member in any land, which one would you choose? This one, I wasn't really sure, but then something came to mind and I'm like, oh yes, that makes sense. And then I'm like, I think it makes sense for both of us. So I picked the same one.
I did not pick the same one. Okay. Let's see what you got.
Ready? I said World Showcase.
I said that Sammy would say World Showcase. I picked Avengers Campus. So when you said that, I'm just like, girl, like there's one solid answer for me here.
I wasn't even thinking out in California.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Womp womp.
Oh, I missed that one, but you got mine. Yep.
Yeah. So like I was thinking like what land outfit is Skimmy gonna look the cutest in?
Oh my gosh.
And then I realized like the World Showcase is just like a primarily red shirt with all the flags, and I'm just like, I don't know if Sammy would really be into that, but I know that she could be by like the UK pavilion and the Morocco pavilion and the France pavilion, like all of her favorite places. I'm like, she's gonna want to go there.
Yeah, that was like, yep, I am gonna go to World Showcase. And then I was like, I think Tyler would like to go to World Showcase too, so he's coming with me.
Speaking of World Showcase, they just announced all of the menus for food and wine this year.
Yes, we've been planning our list of food that we want to try.
Yeah, it's so we didn't do this with the first time we went down to Disney because I guess we didn't really know like what an Epcot festival was at that point.
We knew it was gonna be there, like because it was Festival of the Arts was the first one, and we're just like, oh yeah, that'll be cool to check out thingy, and it's just kind of like some small little festival. Yeah, we did not do enough research.
Yeah, definitely did not. We really slept on Epcot. So like now every time we go to a park that has a festival, even like we went down to DCA back in March, we were actually there for the opening day of Food and Wine. We have a little spreadsheet of all the foods we want to try and where we can find them and how much they are, and we know how much we're going to spend on food when we go to Epcot.
Pretty much, yeah. So we've been kind of, I think, slowly getting our list together. Like one thing that stands out for me is that guava mousse.
From Shimmering Sips.
Yeah, from Shimmering Sips. That's like one of the things I'm most looking forward to. The other one I think is probably the yuca fries from the Fry Basket.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard nothing but good things about those. The Fry Flight
You were really excited about
I
that.
I was really excited about it, and then all the reviews are coming in, and it's just kind of like, eh. So now I'm just like, I don't know. I might still get it, but I don't think I'm gonna like it as much, especially if they're saying that the loaded bacon one or whatever tastes just like a barbecue chip.
Yeah, I think
probably won't like
well,
that.
and we were listening or we were watching like Paging Mr. Morrow, and he's like it tastes like the one of the sodas from
I
Club
think
Cool.
it's from China.
Yeah, the China, like
China.
the barbecue one. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that doesn't sound
Yeah,
good.
I'm not gonna like that. So we'll see. I'm definitely getting the yuca fries. I've heard nothing but good things about those. And yeah, like when I first heard like the fry basket was gonna be the new booth, I'm like, that's like right up my alley because I love potatoes and French fries.
I don't know, like I don't know if there's like one that really stands out for me, or like a thing or two that really stands out for me. Like I really want it. Like I need to get this one. But like I know that we're gonna eat really well at India and Morocco.
Yes, Morocco like blew us away last year. Like
we had everything on the menu.
Like
it was
everything.
amazing.
It was so good. So yeah, and I think India too. Like I think I want to try pretty much everything. There's the octopus from Japan.
No.
So that I think that's new, but I know we kind of are like, do we or don't we?
Yeah, so it's so much fun, and like you mentioned like going to work or be a cast member in World Showcase. Like you just get to see like all these different cultures represented, and you get to see and all the different music and taste all the different foods. And I absolutely love that about all the Disney festivals, but especially Food and Wine, because there's so many different booths there from all across the world. So such a fun time there. And if Avengers Campus wasn't a thing, I definitely would be with you over at World Showcase.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that's about it for today's episode.
Yeah.
I think this is super, super fun. And I think the hardest part was just coming up with the questions, because we tried to make them a little difficult and unique.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? I think maybe we would do this in another episode, come up with a whole brand new batch of questions. Because it's just a fun way to just spark the conversation and just have a fun time doing it. So
yeah, and obviously, we just had our 10-year anniversary episode a couple weeks ago. And as you can tell by the points that we said that we weren't keeping track of, we didn't do that great with one another here in this game. So,
we tied with 6 apiece from what I was keeping track of.
Wasn't there like 15 questions or something like that?
18 questions.
18 questions. So we did spectacular. Yeah. So I guess we've got some work to do.
No, I had a fun time with you, and I just enjoy your company. So
thank you.
I think that's what's most important.
Yes. Again, a lovey-dovey here at the end of the episode. Speaking of lovey-dovey, we want to say thank you so much to all the listeners and all of our supporters on Instagram and all of our followers there. We really appreciate all the love and the feedback that we get from you guys. Yes. Anyone who is liking, commenting, subscribing, following us across all the platforms. We just thank you so much for all your support.
Thank you. We appreciate it so much, and we appreciate all of you.
Yeah. So we can't wait to talk to you next week. We've got a really fun episode planned for you next week as well. So come back around and listen to that one. But for this week's episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast, I am Tyler.
I'm Sammy.
And it's been magical.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Team Unicorn Podcast. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and review wherever you are listening, and follow us on Instagram to keep up with all things Team Unicorn. And remember, stay magical.